Let's see if we can get to 10 subscribers. What would you say is the one thing you can't forgive a person for? The father of my child cheated on me with my mom. They are now living together as a couple. I can never forgive them. Oh no, I can't even imagine what you're going through, let alone your child. Hell. My wife's family taking my distress at losing my wife at 39 as weakness and trying to take advantage to get whatever they could. Nope, can't forget that one. That is beyond shitty. Being distressed over losing your closest loved one is weakness? Do they not have any feelings for their own family member? Right? That's the weird part. It would make more sense for them to be just as if not more distressed than him. People are weird AF, man. My mom forgetting I had cancer and never once called me for 9 months during my treatment. She was never around anyways and would forget my birthday, so I guess I should have expected it. Haven't talked to her in about a year. I don't need the toxicity in my life. What the fuck, that's horrible. Gosh, I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. I had a hysterectomy at the ripe age of 32, and never had a chance to have children with my husband. My sister is an alcoholic and she gets very mean when she's drunk. She was upset with me one evening and she was leaving me message after message because I wouldn't pick up. I listened to one, I probably shouldn't have. She said, "You will never know what it's like to have children, you wouldn't have been a good mom." Pretty much saying I deserve it. She's 48 and knows better. But I don't think I can forgive her, she goes too far. But she's in rehab now for her 10th time. My stepmom cheating on my dad. He's such a good guy and has done so much for her, including adopting her son from a previous marriage, and she fucking destroyed him. My stepmother cheated on my dad too. They agreed to go to therapy but she continued cheating. Then she kicked him out of their house because she was tired of paying for hotels to be with her boyfriend. A few years later, while they were separated but not yet divorced, my dad got really sick. He was in the hospital in a coma and the evil stepmother opened up a bunch of credit cards in my dad's name and ran up over $50,000 in charges. She's a monster. I haven't talked to her since my father's funeral, and will never forgive her for the way she treated him. My sister gave us 3 days notice that we were being evicted, and that's only because my dad confronted her with the eviction notice he found. Had he not snooped, he would have been completely caught by surprise. It's annoying because we found out that night that my grandmother and aunt had been sending my sister money the entire time we lived with them to help us get back on our feet. We could have used that money for gas, which we had to beg her for. We could have used that money for my parents to get to job interviews that they had, but couldn't get to because of no gas, or car troubles. I used to be a different person, and being homeless fundamentally changed me as a person. It absolutely destroyed my social skills, and my self-esteem. Since the first time of being homeless, I've been homeless 2 or 3 times after that. It's a bit of a blur. Edit. After 2 hours of replying, people need some clarity. My family moved in with my sister. My sister was not the landlord. My aunt and grandmother were sending my sister money because my parents' bank account closed. Some of you weren't happy that my dad snooped because he needed to RSPCT her P-Revasi. No. She continuously had problems paying the rent, as well as the utilities. She, and her, guy, both made well enough to pay the rent and utilities. Power and water were shut off more than once. So while they were gone, he decided to snoop around because why the fuck is this happening so much? Also, we got like $400 in food stamps, so having to spend money on food for 8 people is no excuse. That's when he found out that we're being evicted in 3 days. That night, my grandmother just happens to call and he tells what's happening and my grandmother says, "Well, what about the money I and Ann have been sending you?" What money? So, because of my asshole sister not giving us the money, and my aunt is well off, my mother lost her job because she couldn't get to work because we had no gas and my sister would not take her. Previous to this, my parents couldn't go to job interviews which would have helped us get out of there. She's directly responsible my life turning from not good to absolute shit. Extreme poverty breeds more extreme poverty and we were homeless 2 more times after the first time because of it. My first relationship was ended by a mutual friend who talked behind my back. She managed to convince my boyfriend that I was an asshole for studying instead of partying with him. I wanted to give us financial stability so he could pursue his art career. After we broke up, she tried to form a relationship with him, and failed miserably. I still talk to my ex, and we got our friendship back. What she destroyed, though, will never be the same. From as long as I can remember, she's the one person that I never managed to forgive. Sounds like he's an asshole for listening to her. These were complicated times. I can't blame him. He was taken advantage of while in a shitty situation, and the relationship going long distance didn't help. My mother dated this piece of shit guy. He acted nice at first, but then turned into a complete ass act. This was a on again off again relationship. He would hit me and abuse me when my mom was around and even when she wished she let him hit me. I was scared for my life one time when her and him were fighting. I had to grab a belt and whack him across his back in order to get him off of her. He chased me up the stairs and threatened to snap my neck. This was back when I was 9. The worst part is despite all the fuck up things he did to my sister and me, my mom still had a child with a man. He doesn't pay child support and he barely has place of his own. He still live in an apartment house in his 50s. He wanted to go to the NBA, but was too stupid and stubborn to finish college. He blames his behavior or his upbringing as his dad treated him the same. I'm not his son. He was never married to my mom. I have no reason to contact him even if he's the dad of my little sister. Visitation with him and my sister are limited because I was living on the house. I don't feel sad nor guilty for having that power over their relationship. It's my sister's fault that she's in this world, but I hope she knows that her dad is a piece of shit. I hope when he does so I can spit on his grave.